them ever is not only how well they work.
I've been a fan of tech products and tech news for quite some time. That's actually the reason why I started this YouTube channel. As a creator on YouTube and a regular watcher for many years, I've begun to notice an increase in content put across YouTube and many other platforms as well. I'd like to term this the saturation of social media, not technology. You see, when we look at the beginning of the ecosystem that is social media, we usually think of a nerdy Mark Zuckerberg sitting in his dorm at Harvard coding up what would become Facebook. From 2004 to present day 2018, we've seen a number of social media platforms come into being, such as Pinterest, MySpace, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and obviously YouTube. It's a common sight on trains and city streets to see almost everyone and anyone locked at their smartphones engaging in the world of social media. In fact, many would deem it as our second lives, where our real lives we wear a mask, and social media is where we can let go and express ourselves absent of any criticism. Whatever the case may be, this video isn't about critical analysis or psychology, but the point I'm trying to make is that how much social media has grown and the way it has impacted our lives. Having passed their goal of connecting 1 billion users, Facebook now sits to having 2 billion active users. Mark Zuckerberg has said that he aims at connecting 5 billion people, an ambition deemed crazy some 10 years ago. The second most social media platform used after Facebook is none other than YouTube. The total number of people that use YouTube sits at 1.3 billion people. Every minute, 300 hours of video are uploaded. Those numbers are definitely interesting, and one might come to the conclusion that there exists an analog to Moore's Law for social media and whether or not it'll reach its peak. In fact, in 2018, with the world's population sitting at 7.6 billion people, 3.2 billion of those people have access to the internet, while a little under 2.5 billion use social media. At the exponential growth of technology, it is only expected that number will increase. Eventually, the whole world will be connected. The sheer amount of content being consumed across the various social media platforms is incomprehensible. In fact, it's a means to make a living. Individuals like Gary Vaynerchuk, who've built their careers off of social media consulting and making viewers consume their content, adds to the evolution of advertising, entrepreneurship, and overall how we live our lives. In fact, if you'd like to grow your personal brand, share your ideas, or even start a company, it's easier than ever to reach your audience simply with your smartphone. Many artists have been able to self-fund their projects because of their ability to reach millions of people through the internet. Take the live-action short, The Silent Child. They created an Indiegogo page to raise their funds for their film, basing it off a deaf child.
Rather than the sign language? She is normal, she's just deaf. Do you think she'll be able to get a job one day?
And the Oscar goes to The Silent Child, Chris Overton and
This weekend, it won the Oscar for live-action short film for 2018. Social media has become the medium in which we share our lives, thoughts, and essentially ourselves. But as the amount of information increases, it has become harder and harder to keep track of it all. It also has impacted people's social skills, identities, privacy, and so much more. Social media can instill depression in its users. Seeing one of your friends having fun on Snapchat can make you feel isolated, alone, and boring, leading you to question the excitement in your life and begin down the path of the existential crisis. This comparison of our lives to others can lead to a cycle of depression, a cycle hard to break from given social's addictive qualities. Ideally, I'd like to go back to the times when only one thing is on my mind at any given moment, instead of having to keep track of multiple things at once. It screws up our attention span and simply our way of life. Your social skills too take a hit as you begin regarding your social value by the number of followers you have on Instagram. A side effect that's angered me. Either we accept it or completely disseminate ourselves from the social structure. But as we know from the film They Live, that can lead to a very lonely life. Unfortunately, we must endure this brave new world and hope for the very best because social media is here to stay.